I'm the Beauty Professor, and you can find my beauty blog at beautyprofessor.net. It has been a lot longer than I intended it to be between videos, and I'm excited today to give you just an overview of some products that I've been using to create a look. I'll walk you through my step-by-step process, and while it ends up taking longer on video because I'm talking my way through it, I assure you that this process is something I can easily achieve in 10 minutes or less. Thank you to my subscribers and certainly readers and followers who have been encouraging me to make another video. It's truly because of your promptings and encouragement that I am sitting down today at the end of a long week to make this happen. I hope your springtime has been amazing, and I know mine has, in addition to being filled with work and certainly all things beauty professor related. I've also gone on a few trips lately. I went to Bermuda with my husband last week, which was an incredible experience. We've been .net. He condensed a lot into a relatively short time there, since it's so far from where we live in Southern California, but I'm so thankful to visit a place I'd never been before. So let's get started. I started by cleansing my face and then using the SK2 Facial Treatment Essence, which I'm on bottle number 3 of at this point, on a cotton pad, and I just run it all over my skin. I find that it tightens, it brightens, my skin responds really well to this cult favorite formula, and with consistent usage it just gets smoother and smoother, so very pleased with this. And then I used a single pump of the Morsi Dual Action Serum, which I'm on bottle number 3 of as a serum. My skin responds very well to this as well. It's anti-aging, it's lifting, it's firming, it helps with brightening. It just takes care of everything in a single formula, and I think that's why I've run through so many bottles of this. Next, I used the new Kate Somerville Goat Milk Depuffing Eye Balm. It comes in this travel-friendly stick, which is great to just toss into your bag. I used it recently a lot while traveling in Bermuda, and I just dot it along my orbital region. It's very cooling, and so it's revitalizing on the face. You get a great sensory experience, but it also combats darkness and puffiness. It makes me feel awake in the morning when I use it, but it doesn't wake me up at night when I put it on as well. You also get a nice dosage of moisture. To prime my face, I of course applied the La Mette de Beauté Peau Vierge in shade number 2, which is my shade for the entire year. I use this unequivocally as a base on my face. It adds moisture, a little bit of SPF, a light tint, as well as some illuminating properties, and it just very subtly evens out my skin. So I add just a pea-sized amount of this and distribute it all over my face. And then lately, because I've got some sun while in Bermuda, but not enough sun on my face to constitute a true tan, I find that foundations that are normal matches for me are a little tricky. So I've been trying out the YSL Top Secrets all-in-one BB Cream Skin Tone Perfector. I picked this up during the Sephora VIB Rouge sale, and this is in shade medium, which is a little bit darker than what I'm used to. It's certainly darker than the Peau Vierge, but this has an amazing smoothing ability on the skin, and it adds just a light sheer wash of warmth to my face so that whatever foundation I apply afterwards seems to be a spot-on match, even post getting some extra sun. So this is highly rated on the Sephora website, which is what prompted me to pick it up. And I wouldn't say it offers the same coverage as a foundation, but it does add a bit of shimmer-free color so that your skin just looks more evened. I think it's great for no makeup days, and also as a preliminary base before foundation, as I'm using it today. On to foundation. So I have reviewed the Surratt Surreal Real Skin Foundation on my blog. I've mentioned it many times, both there and on Instagram, and I have swatches of all 15 shades that launched earlier this month. I wear shade 5, at least for now. That seems to be my best match, but I'll probably bump up as the summer gets closer. This foundation is incredible in terms of longevity, in terms of performance, in terms of just this invisible look on the skin, though everything on your face is perfected. It's just an amazing formula, and Troy Surratt just outdid himself with this. And this is how I like to apply it. I just do like one pump initially and distribute in the center of my face like this. The brush itself is like a duo fiber brush. It offers amazing blending capabilities, and I could just use the brush completely if I wished, but I will finish this with a dampened beauty blender because I have the time to do so, and I often like to do that in the morning just to make sure I get a super seamless finish. You can see how this is already blending so nicely. And I'll go ahead and use my pre-dampened beauty blender. I like these black ones. I also picked these up at the Sephora sale. It's just something very aesthetically pleasing about it for me. And then I'm just going to blend this in. And I'm basically finished with my base. Not only does this foundation offer beautiful coverage, it also has a self-setting ability, so I don't really need to use any powder when I am finished applying. It just sets nicely, and I like to give this like 30 or 40 seconds before I see the magic set in. Suddenly I feel like it's just bonding to my skin. It's unscented, by the way, and great for sensitive skin like mine. And I just get this seamless finish that lasts for hours on end. I have some inordinately long teaching days sometimes during the week, and even by hour 11 or 12, this is still going strong. I always feel like I look in the mirror to try to touch it up and I don't even need to. So this formula is exemplary in that regard, and I think it just really looks like real skin, which is of course always the goal with foundation. I'll go ahead and touch up any dark areas or residual spots with this lip brush from Sephora. It's retractable, and I always keep it preloaded with some Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage in SC3, which has been my color for decades. It's just a perfect blend of two shades, so you can mix it based on your tone, and I get a perfect match every single time. So I'm just going over some areas that I might want a little bit more coverage in and blending out with my warm fingertip. Before I get to lips, which of course I always save for the very end, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the Orlan Balm Magnifique or Magnificent Lip Balm. I'm on tube number 2 of this. It has this slanted applicator and a very cushiony feel for the lips. It smells amazing, kind of fruity and warm. And I wear it at night, but also just as a lip balm or a primer before lip color. So I'm adding a bit right now. It is a clear formula, but it might look pigmented because my lips are naturally pigmented. I'm going to work with the Charlotte Tilbury Complete Look in a palette. This has just launched, and I was excited to be able to preview it a little bit early. This has a bronzer, a darker blush, a lighter blush, a highlighter, and then 3 eye shades so that you could create a face in just a couple of minutes with this single palette. I'm really pleased with the ease of the bronzer. I'm using my GSN 04 brush to apply, and I'm just going ahead and putting this bronze shade in the area where I tend to apply bronzer. It's similar to the Bronze and Glow Compact, but it's, for me at least, and I haven't compared them side by side, but I feel like it's a little bit more brown and a little less warm bronze. So it makes it more neutral and consequently more universal. All right, that's all I'm going to do there. And then I will go ahead and add a little bit of the cheek. This is the swish area, so you just kind of move it like this. Smile and move. And then the pop is meant to be just dashed onto the center or the apple of the cheeks quickly for a little more brightening. So there you have it. I'll certainly link to my comprehensive catalog of swatches on this palette. As I move into eyes, I'm going to be working with the Votre Eye Lingerie. This is a new launch from this great independent French line. This is a creamy, almost like concealer, but it's meant to smooth out the eyelid and make it easier to apply eyeshadow. I'm just using my ring finger to tap the light shade across my upper eyelid here as a primer. And then I'm actually going to use the residual amount in my under eye region just as a brightener. So I'm not using an additional concealer. I find that I get significant coverage from the Surratt foundation, so Really no need for me to use an additional one, but I'll use it in this case in the under eye region just for some continuity. I will use some of the eye shades from the Charlotte Tilbury palette as a demonstration. You can use the shade number 1, the brightening shade, to brighten. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a brighter base like this. And I'm even going to sweep some of my lower eye region for brightening. Then I will use a little bit of the smoky shade just in the crease here. Now Charlotte designed this palette to be an all-inclusive face, but because I'm showing you my regular routine as of late, I'm going to leave the usage of these shadows right here and move on to a different set of eyeshadows that I reach for all of the time. But certainly you can create a very neutral eye look that is flattering and so easy to achieve just with this palette. I'm going to show you the Gucci Eye Duo. This is in the shade Primrose, which was a new spring 2016 release, and I featured it on the blog. I'm going ahead and adding this darker rosy burgundy shade across my eyelid. It just is so pigmented and so pretty. Really easy to wear and unlike anything else I own. So I'm just blending that in. A little bit of satin radiance, but nothing overtly sparkly. Blending out to nearly the brow bone, because it's an easy eye. And I can do this in about 1.5 minutes at home, sometimes at a signal. I'm going to sweep a little bit more, very close to my lower lash line. And then I'll add just a touch of the kind of silvery taupey gray shade right here up to my brow bone, just to blend and add some gradient continuity there. There we go. I am one for a very easy eye. If you're looking for a complex eye with like 17 shades of eyeshadow, there are so many great channels to watch that happen. But for me, I tend to be all about single washes of color and a little bit of blending, maybe of an additional brow bone shade. I'm going to get crazy right now and add a third shade that I've been loving as of late, and that comes from the Ciroc Prismatique Eyes Duo here. There is a cream shadow and a radiant shadow below, and I reviewed all of the shade offerings on my blog. You can see I've hit pan on this. I love neutral eyes so much. It seems to be perennially sold out at the Sephora site, which is great. I'm so happy for the brand, but I have recently found it on Net-a-Porter. I'm going to be placing an order this weekend to keep myself in stock with neutral eyes. I'm using this rosy gold ultra reflective eyeshadow, and I'm just going to lay it down on top of the burgundy base here that I've created. So it looks like this. It just adds a little more dimension and depth. I think it's still work appropriate, and you can see the difference between the eyeshadowed eye and the eyeshadow eye with the Prismatique shadow. It just warms things up, and the pairing just lasts the entire day. No creasing, no fallout. It's an amazing, both are amazingly stalwart formulas. If I have a really long day and I want to make sure I look my most pulled together, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more products into the mix. The first is the By Terry Ombre Black Star in Bubble Glow, which was new for spring 2016. It's this pearly baby pink. It would be a killer lip color. I haven't tried it on the lips yet, but I need to. And in the meanwhile, I wear it in the under eye region. I sweep it along here, and it just adds some additional brightening. I like to put it on directly from this bullet, and you can see how it was meant. Terry designed this to be an eye brightener. It's a very light eyeshadow, just if it was a wash of color. So it's meant to be a brightener. It just makes the eyes look more alert, more awake. And if you're familiar with the Ombre Black Star formula, you know it just stays in place without creasing until you decide to take it off. I'm sure there are those who saw this launch and wonder, like, what do I do with an almost lipstick toned baby pink? But I'm telling you, as a brightener or even in the crease for some additional dimension, this color is amazing. I never would have dreamed would be using it as much as I do, but it's permanently in my makeup bag and I've already moved down a good almost half an inch on this. Just so worth it. I'm going to use the Tom Ford High Definition Eyeliner in black, which is shade number 1. And I have swatches of all shades of this new launch. It's retractable. I have them on my blog. I'll link to them below. But I wear this on the waterline with great success. I have watery, allergy-ridden eyes that I wear contacts as well, so a liner on the waterline doesn't have a great fighting chance with me, but this formula, I love the fact that I don't have to sharpen it. This formula stays in place forever. I just move it right along here. It's pigmented. I don't have to feel it dragging. And wow, you just get this great jet black effect. I'll be working with the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. It simply gives me this full set of lashes in a couple of coats without a lot of effort, and I think that's why I appreciate it so much. I'm just going to run it through my lashes. It's jet black, it lengthens, it adds volume. You can add more throughout the day. You can just see how potent this mascara is right off the top. This mascara is affordable, it's accessible, it's incredibly high performance, and I find myself recommending it to everyone I know. For lips, I've been going with just a very neutral kind of look, and I've been into long wearing formulas because this spring has been so hectic that I like applying and not having to think about my lips much and just knowing that what I have applied is doing its thing. So I'm going to use the La Prairie Luxe Lip Liner. It's an automatic lip liner. Once again, no need for sharpening, which is highly convenient. This is in the shade Nude, and I just sweep it across my lips to add some definition and bring it into the center, mixing a little bit with the Orlan lip balm that I applied. I'll go ahead and apply a favorite duo as of late. That will be the La Metier de Beauté Color Core Lipstick in Bondi Beach. It's not a new shade at all, but it's one that I've been wearing constantly. It's kind of a rosy mauve nude. It just has great creamy coverage. And for a slightly darker shade, I feel like it still makes your lips look really full and healthy, and it stays in place. And I'm going to add the Jouer Long Wear Lip Cream in Citronade Rose, which is 100% my favorite from this whole range of very impressive, very beautiful lip colors. This is a metallic ballet pink, and I just stumbled upon this lip combination by accident. I was just mixing things on the go, and I love it. I'm just adding a little bit because it's highly pigmented, and it's thin, it's creamy, and it doesn't dry out my lips, which is rare for a long wearing formula. A little goes a long way, and there is the final lip. Now to finish the face, I'm going to use a bit of the highlighter portion of the Charlotte Tilbury palette, sweeping that across my upper cheekbones. Then for a slightly peachy glow, I've been absolutely loving the Clé de Peau Face Luminizer in shade 15, which is this gorgeous apricot shade. It doesn't add a ton of color, but it adds a little bit to kind of step up the cheek and also add a luminous wash, like so. The combination of the initial cheek product plus this is just undeniably good. Of course, because this was intended to be a get ready with me type of video, I wanted to focus on specific products, but I also, because I want to share with you products I've been reaching for a lot, I wanted to discuss a range of products in different categories that I have been duly impressed with. I have to discuss briefly is the By Terry Sun Designer Compact. This is in 02, which is light and tan vibes. You can see it's been well used in the last almost 2 months that I've had it. I feel like this is just so easy for light to medium skin. You can create contour, bronzing and warmth, matte highlight, glowing highlight, blush, and a glowing kind of tan blush on top. All of these looks in a single palette. It's so versatile, it's easy to work with, and it's super compact, this streamlined gorgeousness. Always in my purse, something I reach for very often, and I can't recommend it enough. I will be buying a backup before this limited edition gem disappears. For foundation, I know I've been discussing the Surreal Real Skin Foundation, which has just been a dream come true. Some other formulas that I reach for frequently because I am in this life of foundation rotation are as follows. There is the La Prairie Cellular Swiss Ice Crystal Transforming Cream, which sounds almost like a skincare, and it does have major skincare benefits, but it also has an impressive tint. I can wear shade nude or shade beige, which is probably better for my tanner skin, and this formula has an impressive SPF 30 as well as a good buildable light to medium coverage performance. You can just dab it in with a beauty blender. I'll try to do a demo with it very soon. And I'll also have swatches of all shades coming up on my blog in the next week or two. But yes, this is a luxurious splurge, but a really well-made product for almost a tinted moisturizer effect that has intense skincare benefits and a beautiful natural satin finish. Then there's the Décolleté Soft Cream Foundation. I wear this in warm beige and also warm ivory. I can go back and forth. The Décolleté line is a new launch at Saks, at least stateside, and certainly it's a Japanese brand that's been highly lauded for years. So I'm happy that it's come stateside. I'll be offering you shades in swatch form of all of the offerings coming up on Beauty Professor soon, but this cream foundation is gorgeous. It's good for medium to full coverage and lasts all day. It also delivers beautiful skincare benefits, and if you like working with a cream rather than a liquid cream, then I recommend considering the Décolleté. Finally, the last cream on the list is the Serge Lutens Spectral Foundation. And this is in shade 40 for me. I have swatches of all shades on my blog. I will link to that below. But this is an extremely pricey yet wildly beautiful cream foundation. Comes in this sleek black case, and I just like to depot some into a small travel container for wearing it on the go. I find that it offers an almost matte, creamy matte finish. So when you want something matte as opposed to satin or radiant, then this is the way to go. But if you can find a match in this, and there's only 5 shades currently, and you're looking for something that not a lot of people own, but that has an immense ability to perform well, then the Spectral Foundation might be an option for you as well. For nails, I've been using a lot of the RMS Luminizer, which is a lovely glowing just kind of sheen on the nails. It's so easy when you don't want to take time to do your nails, but you need your nails to look better than they would normally look. I have been known to like paint this on while at dinner, like in the bathroom quickly. Terribly uncouth, but it does the job. It's in my purse a lot. For lips, there are a few other shades that I wanted to discuss briefly because I've been grabbing for them so much. One is the Tom Ford Moisture Core lip color. I have swatches of many of the shades on my blog. This is in Mustique, which is a gorgeous baby pink nude. So pretty on the lips. Then there is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Gloss in Butterscotch. Very pigmented, a gorgeous creamy nude. I can wear alone, over liner, or over lip color. The Natasha Denona Lip Glaze in Wood Wash is very beautiful as well. It's almost a true brown nude and a little bit edgier for times when I want a nude lip. It's not as conventionally soft, but still has a beautiful tender finish. And then there is the MAC Versacolor Stain in Energy Shot. I picked this up at a MAC store in Bermuda, of all places. Like, I'm still buying makeup in other countries. I can't believe how much I love this. This is a bright kind of baby pink salmon, and it is a stain and a gloss at the same time. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. I always start off trying to make them very short And by the time I start discussing the makeup I've been loving, I just get carried away. So thank you for watching this and being with me for this time. I wanted to bring Jethro into the mix for a moment. He says hello, he sends his regards, hey, and is as fluffy and cute and rambunctious as ever. I do intend to make many more videos. I have so many things that I look forward to sharing with you. And in the interim, I welcome your questions and your comments. Would love to know how you're doing. Please, as always, don't forget to visit me at Beauty Professor, which can be found at beautyprofessor.net. Thank you so much and take care.